Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. You already know what to do. Follow that prompter in your bottom right-hand corner. And let's get the likes up on this one. I'm going to go in right into it, and we're just going to look at a few things. It is it's funny to me that two of the things on two different networks is the stock market open on Good Friday? Same thing. And the answer is no. The stock market is not open. Even the pre-markets are just flat. Okay, it's just flat. This means nothing. The Dow, the S&P being up 15, and the Nasdaq being up 57 means nothing as we head into the weekend. Now, I only have a few notes, and this will probably be one of my shortest videos because I just want to talk with you guys, right? So the question, should I say, that needs an answer is, have we seen the bottom? Have we seen the bottom? And if there's nothing new coming out of the White House, which there probably is, I would keep my eye over the weekend. But if there was nothing new, I would feel comfortable with saying we've seen the bottom. But I can't say that. So don't say Larry said the bottom's in. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't know. But could it be the bottom? Could the bottom have already been behind us? The answer is yes, it could have. Okay. If you look at this, here's the SPY. Now, here's the VIX. The day that the VIX spiked, okay? So it spiked 2 days. It spiked on the 7th and it spiked on the 8th. And you know the VIX, for those of you that don't know, is the volatility index, right? And those were two highly volatile days, the 7th and the 8th, okay? Highly volatile. And if you could look here on the SPY, I got it on the daily, you could see that, look at this, the 7th and the 8th were the lows. As you can see on the 8th, the wick down was where the bottom of the candle was on the 7th. And the question is, was this the low? And as you zoom out, you ask yourself, was this the low? Now, the last time we were here was way back in 24. You could see Wednesday the 7th, August 24. Okay? So here we are right now with the VIX spiking. Okay? And you could see where we were here, right? Now, the question is, have we seen the bottom? There's a lot of things going on that I want to discuss with you, and I want you to just think about over this weekend. And one is, now the bullseye is on the Fed now, all right? This was Trump's tariff war, okay? The Fed now actually got appointed under Trump and his previous run, okay? His previous presidency. So now the big thing is, Trump came out and said it can't be fast enough for Fed Powell to get fired. If Fed Powell was fired right now, the market would not like that, good people. I'm just going to tell you, the market would not like that. And just like in times of war, we don't change presidents because it's just not good, right? And some say some presidents start wars when their polls start going down. That was in the history. Okay. So what I wanted to ask you is, if you think it is nearing the bottom, which I do. Now, listen, good people. On yesterday's video, I made the comment that I think at the end of this, we're going to be okay. I didn't agree with us going into a tariff war, and I definitely didn't agree with the way it was rolled out. But I do agree that it's going to come out, or else why would I be investing? Now, on yesterday, I showed some portfolios, and one of the portfolios, which was an ETF that I showed on yesterday, was a brand new portfolio. Good people, I got over 7 different portfolios, right? And that was one. Those 3 were in one brokerage. Okay, so those 3 I showed you yesterday, though they're different portfolios, that's all in one brokerage. And you guys saw what I invested over the last 2 weeks. And why would I be putting that money to work if I didn't think this was going to work at the end? Why would I be buying at specific points if I didn't think that it was a good buy? Now, I didn't know if it was the bottom or not. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows if it's the bottom or not. You can keep guessing and finally get it right. Like they say, a clock is twice a day right. Okay. So I made a few notes, and I just want you guys to think about this, right? If there's any deal cut with China, it's going to be a victory. Okay. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean that we should have went into this tariff war, especially with the entire world. I didn't agree with that. But if there's any agreement with China, if China says, hey, we're going to cut our tariff by the 5%, then boom, you can come out and say, okay, well, that's a victory. It worked, right? Either way it goes, that's why I said the bar is low. Either way it goes, if the tariffs come off and they say we came to an agreement, this is how it's going to benefit them, and Xi can go back to his country and said, hey, victory, we won. And then our president say, hey, we came to a deal, we won. Even if the deal is no deal and everything's the same, and if they claim victory, the stock market will rise, because the stock market does not like uncertainty. That's what I want you guys to focus on while we got all this left and right stuff going on. Again, I'm an independent. I think like an independent. I vote like an independent. Okay, and that's what I do. All right, and I want to be crystal clear that this page is for everyone. I don't care. Okay, I don't care, but this is what I do care about: people over politics. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I said this on the live with the guys, with the squad, and I really want people to get this. In the Great Depression, 29, literally soup lines. People were, business owners were just leaping out of skyscrapers, ending it all. It was just the absolute worst. The stock market, what did it do? It rebounded even after the Great Depression, right? Come the 90s, .com, everything. If it had .com behind it, people were investing in it. Companies that didn't exist, that didn't have any money, we just sunk. All right. And the truth be told, I was investing then. I was gambling then because I didn't know what I was doing. So I invested some money that I thought was a good investment. Lost it all. Right. And the stock market came back. Right. Instead of selling, I should have held. Right. So then we had the recession of 2008. From 2007 to 2009, nobody had any money. It was the worst. The housing market got crushed. You saw what banks did. It was just bad for those of you that don't remember. I was investing then. What is my regret today? That I didn't put more money in 2008. That I didn't put more money in, number one. Number two, that I didn't hold some of the stocks that I had. I literally got into what we would call a penny stock and got it at 25 cents. Okay. And sold that for $24. And all I regret now is I didn't hold. And it was a pharmaceutical stock. Okay. Then we had the build up. So we had this endless printing of money, right, in 2020 because of COVID. And we had the endless checks. You get a check, you get a check, you get a check, right? And then we had the bull market of 2021. And all of that liquidity had to get sucked out. The market was overinflated and it had to come down. Then that was the bear market of 2022. Every time you bought, it went lower, 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 right? I'm just bringing you guys. But still, the market turned around and rebound. And now we have now. And so we say, oh, this is different. No, it's not different. It's not any different, good people. I'm here to tell you, it's not any different. The market will rebound. So whether you love this current administration, whether you're an independent like me, and I voted independently, so I didn't vote for any of the two. All right, let's keep that straight. Somebody was like, Listen, who cares about all of that? Okay? What I care about is the people and the people making the right decisions. And what we need is what the market is asking for, clarity. And if we have clarity, we can invest in a more clear way. And so, yes, I showed you guys the portfolios that I started in the midst of this tariff war. And if you didn't see it, you can go back to yesterday's video. And what I want to say to you guys is this is happiness, and happiness has to be pursued. And so that's all I'm going to say. The pursuit of happiness. This is a fight. Unfortunately, some of you listening to me right now, it's not about trying to time the bottom, but you're not even going to nibble anywhere near the bottom. And that's one of the things that anybody could do. So I want to challenge you. If we revisit this bottom, you can see that right here, 489. You see that? 488. I don't care if you nibble at 495. I don't care if you nibble at 5, okay? If we revisit that bottom and you don't buy, then why would you buy up here? That's what I want to ask you. That's what I want to ask you. That's what I want you to think about this weekend, okay? So, Larry, you're trying to get me to buy? No, I'm trying to get you to focus on every single opportunity. Again, the Depression, believe it or not, was an opportunity. The 90s, the dot-com was an opportunity. The recession of 2008 was an opportunity. COVID was an opportunity. 2022 had many opportunities, even in a bear market. All you need was dime and time. You needed money and time and patience. If you want to build generational wealth, you're going to have to work for a generation. That's what I want to say. Now, good people, this is Good Friday, and I want you to have a good Friday, all right? And we are celebrating the death, the palm trees, yay, yay, here comes King Jesus, to throwing the palms at him and celebrating him as he entered into Jerusalem. And then the very ones that were saying, yay, yay, here comes the king, are yelling by Friday, they yelling, crucify him. And then by, Sunday morning, he rises again. So that's what we're going to be celebrating this weekend for those of us that are Christians. I understand we're all non-Christians that watch this page, but I am unapologetically. And what is expected of us as Christians, regardless of who you voted for. And if you think that this page is for me to just come here and bash one side, no, I call out foul on both sides and I will continue. But this page is for everyone, and it's for everyone to come up financially, mentally, and on Sundays spiritually. All right. For those of you that are new, welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones, where I just keep it real. And we appreciate you guys tapping in. Now, on Money Moves, last night, we posted a new video on Money Moves. You guys can come join us. We are serious. I am serious about teaching you options. Who? The absolute beginner. Teaching you options. And I want you to come on this journey with us. So by next month, I said the first week, let's not rush. Before next month is over, I want you to be able to go in and absolutely do calls or puts or make money off of options. And so that's why I call this class Options for Dummies. And that's a play off of the Dummies series, okay? And those books, if you understand what I'm talking about, leave a coffee cup. I learned a lot about investing off of my first book was Investing for Dummies. One of it. It wasn't the very first one, but one of the books that I learned the most of was the Investing for Dummies books. Well, come on with me, all right? And we're going to be undumb when we finish this course that I talk to you like you're 3, okay? That's how I learn. Talk to me like I'm 3. Don't come with all of these lines and stuff and start talking over my head. So that's what Money Moves is about. Again, it will be the only link below. Come and join us. You can Go over the classes. They're still up, every lesson, so you can go over them this weekend. But by next month, we're going to be killing it. All right? I love you guys. Let's celebrate this weekend. Let's be respectful of everybody and everybody's faith, okay? I love you guys. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.